this is another sample on how to run the fibs. This morning I woke up around 4:30 and the first thing I noticed was this pivoting point here, and I was already moving up. I was around here. This candle was almost closing. Remember, this is the 15-minute candle. So this 15-minute candle was almost closing, and I started looking at the chart and looking where was the structure breaking. And then I also move up to the 4 hour, and then I notice here that you had a lowest point here, and then you had a bear candle here, a very bullish candle here that reversed the overall trend, and you saw the rejection on the 120 moving average right here, and then you had a higher close, and then you have this candle right here. So that's when I identified that the next target for this trend will be up here, because right now the trend is bullish, and if the trend is bullish, the next objective will be to close around this area. So that is when my bias started considering a long entry. So then here you need to go to the 15-minute and see what can back up your decision of going long. And then I was looking here, you have your indicators crossing over. And if you look back in the chart here, you had market structure break right here, and then another market structure break here with this push. It broke this structure. So that's when I started thinking, where should I run my fibs? So your fibs, you will start considering running them not from the lowest point, which I have already described that on the past videos, but on the next leg that broke the structure. So it was here on this leg. This is the push that broke the structure, and this is the highest point right here, which was this body. And like I just mentioned, this candle here was closing when I started looking at the trade. So I alerted in the chat room a long entry. I went long around here. Forgot the exact price, but I went long around here. And then I just sat back and let the trade unfold. You see the push up, it pulled back down. Sometimes when you see a resistance area like this and like this one, you might start getting doubtful as you see those wicks pushing down, wicks pushing down, wicks pushing down. You might think that the trade is just going to collapse, especially when you have money on the line. But you just got to be patient and trust the strategy. Why? Because once I ran my fibs from this leg that broke the structure here and here up to this leg, which was the highest point next, and then you saw that bounce, the 70 and a 79 bounce right around here. That was a perfect entry. However, I wasn't up around this time to take the entry long at this point. But remember that I had identified on the previous video that it is okay for you to take the trade anywhere in this section here, anywhere before the first target point. So this will be your first TP. So you don't want to take a entry right at the at that TP zone. So you want to do it anywhere around here. So I went in 2 lots around here, then another 2 lots. And around this candle, when it was pushing down, I almost considered buying a third position long right here, but I didn't think it pushed back enough. If it was to push back around this area, I would have bought another position, so I could have had in a standard 6 lot position like I usually do. But in this instance, it didn't pull back enough, so I only took the trade with two lot positions. So it was 4 lots in total. So after 10 pips, or around this area here, this resistance, I took 2 positions off the table. That was about $200. I let it ride, and my next TP was the next resistance area here. So this was your first resistance right here. This was your second resistance. Just always look to the left of the chart and see what's the next resistance area. And those are the zones that you're going to use to take profit. So then here was when I started taking profit, right around here, a little above it. And then my last TP was up here in this resistance area. So it wasn't right at the tip of the bodies. It was a little before the tip of the bodies, just because I want to make sure that I get filled. And if you notice right there, I got filled, spiked up, back down in a matter of 15 minutes, and I was done for the day. And that was a pretty smooth, quick trade. If you notice on the 30-minute, you do not see the fibs on the 30-minute. So this is one of those trades that you need to know what you're looking for before you place the trade. So what I did was, since I could not identify here on the 30-minute, I could not identify any long position by running the fibs. So what I did was I ran the fibs going the opposite direction. Remember, you got to play devil's advocate. So if you're going to go long, also look at the chart like if you're going to take a short, because at some point the chart might consider reversing on you at a certain point, which would be an entry. So if I run my fibs from the highest point from this zone right here, the 500, to this zone here, this is the next zone. This will be the lowest point, but there's no zone here. So this is the zone that was rejected by this two lows here. So I will run my fibs up to that zone right there. And if I was to go short, my entry will be right here at the 62 position. So you notice how I bought around here, I sold here, and right around that area, it reversed. So it was a bearish 62 entry. So this is actually a good example of how you can place several entries in one day. However, I like to have the discipline of just taking one trade a day, one, maybe two. So I took this bullish 70 and 79 bounce long, looking at the bigger picture and playing devil's advocate. I ran fibs going the opposite direction, and it had a perfect bounce. So right when I took profit at this high, I could have also shorted and now ride the wave back down to this support area, or possibly this support area, and maybe this support area. So this is a way how you can just use the fibs to keep bouncing off of trends from each other. So you go long running fibs. If you run fibs going short, you will also see a bounce. Make sure that you take profit around those areas. And that is what I usually do on a daily basis. The 4 hours, I just use it as an indicator of overall trend, just how I had mentioned on previous videos. And just as an example, I took pictures of the alert on the chat. So around 4:46 a.m., that's when I took the long, and I showed a screenshot of where I ran the fibs from the top to the bottom. The top for the leg broke structure, not from the very bottom. And there goes a 79 bounce. Sorry, right here, 79 bounce. And I went long around here. I thought I was gonna start ripping. And then that's when I immediately got on the green. And then about an hour later at 5:35 a.m., I closed one position for $200 and I left one running. This is the position that was already running. And I was thinking that this might aim at the 8,200 point if it wasn't a bearish fib coming up on the 30-minute. And I started considering taking profit because I already took profit at 10 pips. And I set my TP at the next resistance area. So I set it right here, TP 80.92. It was around this area right here. This is 80.92. 80.92. That was with my TP right there, 80.92. right there. And if you notice, it happens every day, just like clockwork. I made today $458, and today is Friday. So I have been showing you trades from the entire week. I didn't trade on Sunday. I did not trade on Monday because I didn't see any setups. I traded Tuesday. I took two trades on Wednesday. I took one trade yesterday on Thursday. I took one trade today on Friday. So it happens almost every single day. And if you look back at the videos, it shows the strategies. It has been the same strategy back to back, and I made just about 2,400 just in 1 week, and that was an average week. And if you do the math, just trading with an average week, 6 lots, that's about 124K in a year. And just think that every month you're going to be increasing your position and you will be getting better and better as a trader. So that's something good to consider, and just keep it in mind. This is worth the work, and this is worth investing the energy in trading and mastering this pattern. Thank you.